Welcome back to another video, and I just want to do the usual. So if you haven't already, then please make sure you've hit that subscribe button and come and join my little family. And if you are already subscribed, then make sure the notification bell switched on just so you're notified of whenever I upload a video. And why not give this video a thumbs up? And now we can jump right in. So a couple of weeks ago when I uploaded my last giveaway video, I asked you guys to ask me some questions regarding to my job working for Benefit Cosmetics. So basically, if you had any questions, any queries, anything you wanted to know about me working there, I asked you to leave those questions down below, and today I'm going to be answering those questions. So this is going to be my benefit job Q&A, answering your questions about my job at Benefit Cosmetics, something along those lines. And I just want to get right in and get started. I just want to say that there is a hell of a lot of questions. I'm not going to be answering duplicate questions because there's no point, but I will try and answer all of your questions to the best of my ability. First question I've got here is by Bethan Lanesbury, and it's, what's the worst thing that's happened while showing a customer what makeup to use at Benefit or putting it on them? Now, I've only been at Benefit for about 3 months, so nothing like really bad's happened, but like just daft things. Like I can be quite clumsy and like tripping over myself, like dropping makeup brushes on the floor. Like I remember showing one lady Professional and it like squirted out all over, and that was a bit embarrassing. I think I've done that with foundation as well, just because I'm a klutz, but nothing really like that sticks in my mind that I can think of off the top of my head. Then the next question is by Gemma Coombs, and it's, what's your favourite product from Benefit and do you like working for Benefit? So the first question, my favourite product is probably either the Hoola bronzer. I absolutely love their bronzer, or I really like their California blush. And then in terms of working for Benefit, I absolutely adore my job. I love being like, literally I could be on any makeup counter and I would be happy. It's just like my passion for makeup and beauty, I suppose, that drives me. Like I get up in the morning and I want to go to work. Emily Rat says, if you could produce or introduce a new product into the Benefit range, what would it be? Where do I start? A colourful eyeshadow palette. I think we should work on our eyeshadow formula a little bit. I do think that. So I think like a really nice eyeshadow palette, or like a collection of eyeshadow palettes, would be nice. A more full coverage foundation, although the new foundation is really nice and it's a lot better than the older one that they had. And I think we need a wider range of lipsticks. Like I think we could do with some like liquid lipsticks, some glosses. There's a few little things that I would introduce, but I do think we're really good for like base products, you know, like primers and things like that. Isla Haskins says, what's the best thing at working in Benefit and what's the worst? So the best thing is probably that I'm just living my best life and work, I'm working with makeup every day. You get to, you know, make people's day by applying makeup to the faces, and obviously, you know, it's amazing that we get allocation and we get free goodies, which is obviously a great benefit. Haha, get what I did there. The worst thing is probably sort of learning about what new products you're going to have out before it's like, it's a gift and a curse, because if you've got a customer in and you know there's a new launch coming out that's going to be perfect for them, but you're not allowed to say anything because you do get embargoed and you're not allowed to talk about certain launches, then like it's a gift and a curse, because you really, really want to tell them because you know you've got the perfect product coming for them, but you can't. So like sometimes that is the thing, if that makes sense. Amy Wilson says, what's the best part of my job? I probably answered this a little bit already, but I just love putting makeup on people, really. Like that's the best thing to me. Alice Salter says, is there any Benefit products you don't like, and if so, do you feel awkward selling any of those products? There's always going to be things that you do and don't like, I think, no matter where you work. And I don't think it's necessarily that there's nothing that I don't like, there's just some things that don't necessarily work for me, but that's the way I say it to the customer, because obviously I've got an oily skin. I know some of the products, so I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head. So for instance, our Total Moisture Cream, right, absolutely phenomenal moisturiser, really, really nice, thick, perfect for someone with dry skin. It's too moisturising for me, but I still really like it. It's just, it's no good for my skin type. So I would then, if the person had dry skin, I would still recommend that to them, because I know it's a good product, it just doesn't suit my skin type. Where I would use the we've got like an oil-free moisturiser, and that's what I would use on myself. It's more that some things don't work for me rather than me not necessarily liking anything, or it's more preference. So like the original Hello Happy, that foundation in the little square bottle, I can't think of what that one's called. I'm not a big fan of that, because I don't like light coverage. I like more of a medium to full coverage, but I know that that works well for some people because they prefer that type of a coverage. So it just depends on, there's a lot of factors really. Bommy Yoon has said, how long did it take you to get used to working at Benefit, and are there any benefits working at Benefit? I see what you did there, girl. It took me a while. Like, I'm still not 100% settled in now. I'm still not like 100% trained on brows. Like, I did do my brow training. I didn't pass it straight away because it was a lot to take in 4 days. Like, we had to learn how to wax eyebrows and lip and chin wax in 4 days. Like, it's intense, girls. So I wouldn't say that like I'm 100%, like, I'm settled in fine, and I've picked everything up sort of fine, but I wouldn't say like, I think it's like every job you sort of evolve and adapt over time when like new products and things come out. So I think there's always that element of not being 100% used to somewhere you work, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made any sense. And the benefits of working at Benefit, so we get an allocation every 6 months of, it depends on how many hours you run, but I think mine's around £250 every 6 months. Get staff discount, you get 20% discount across, well, this is for Debenhams. I work at Debenhams, so I get 20% discount off all of Debenhams, and you're allowed 30% discount off Benefit products online. So you're allowed up to so many products a month, I think it is. I've never really looked into that because I've not needed to. You do get when certain new products come out, you do get those new launches as samples, so you get them free to take home with you. A staff shop, which I've done a staff shop haul on here before, where you get discounted goods in the staff shop, stuff that, you know, they might not necessarily sell anymore, or it might have been slightly damaged packaging. We get that. And then Zoe Louise says, how is it working at Benefit compared to what you thought it would be, like good and bad? To be quite honest, it surpassed my expectations working at Benefit, because I didn't realise how much I was actually going to love my job. Like, I literally get up to, like I've said, I get up and I want to go to work on a morning. It can be stressful at times because obviously you are targeted, but I just think that's the same as everywhere. It's the same as any retail job I've ever done in the past, so that's not a biggie to me. The only thing that I think was a little bit difficult for me was the intensity of like the brow training course, because I didn't expect to have that. I don't know whether it's just me in my mind with my anxiety, like that was a lot for me to take in 4 days, so I unfortunately didn't pass that straight away. But apart from that, like, it is really, really good, and I think it surpassed my expectations. Shay W says, I'd like to know if it's okay to approach counters for makeovers. It's completely fine, like that's what they're there for. And to be quite honest, we like to do makeup because there might be something you want to try, and 9 times out of 10, like, to put it straight, it does lead to a sale, and that's what we're there for. So really, like, don't be afraid to approach a counter. Like, even if you haven't got a voucher, like on Benefit we always do makeovers, so if there's, even if it's just like the new brow product that's come out, you want us to show you how to use it, we can sit you down and do that. All counters offer makeovers. Some of them do it where, like, I know Urban does, they have different brackets, and you either pay for your makeover or that money is used towards product. I know some counters do it like that. So definitely if there's a counter that you want to try something out or you want to make over, just go over and ask and see what their rules and procedures are, because different counters have different rules and regulations, if you like. Candy Floss says, what is the oddest thing someone has ever asked you at Benefit? What did you do? I don't think I've necessarily been asked anything odd. I mean, you always get questions like, do you really like this makeup? Do you really use this at home? Is this really what you've got on your face? But I think, like, you sometimes get funny comments. So, like, if you get someone sat down to do brows, they'll be like, oh, no, love, I want them doing, but I don't want them like yours. You've got slug brows. And I'm like, oh, okay. Fine, I understand. There's a lot of people have, like, a lot of the older generation have an issue with, like, our defined brow. Like, they think it's like a slug brow. Obviously it's not, it's the fashion now, but that's fine. Like, it's not an issue. Like, I'm not going to sit someone down and paint a brow on them that they're not comfortable with. Whatever they want painting on, I'll paint them. But it's just really, really funny that that's how it's, like, sort of seen as. Rockstar said, hi Amber, how was it when you received the call that you got the job that you wanted? To be fair, I was in shock. I was shooketh. I was absolutely buzzing. I was over the moon. And I was shocked just because of how many hours they offered me straight off the bat. Like, I was absolutely buzzing, to be quite honest. Robina Begum says, what look do you need to have for Benefit? Do you need to wear Benefit makeup? Benefit don't look for a look. Benefit are very open to individuality. I don't think any counter should look for a look, because then it's, I suppose it's like discrimination, if you like. You don't have to wear Benefit makeup if you want to apply for a job at Benefit. It's just nice to have a bit of knowledge about the brand. I didn't know absolutely everything about Benefit before I started working for them, and I don't think they expect you to. Zemai says, what tips would you give someone who wants to work at Benefit? How did you get your first interview and how did you do? What's your best and worst experience, and what would you wear to work, and how do you remain positive through all kinds of customers? Right, okay, so the first couple of questions in terms of tips and tricks to get a job at Benefit Cosmetics, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link a video down below. I've literally just uploaded a video about how to get a job at Benefit Cosmetics, and if that's what you're wanting to do, then you're probably better off watching that video, so I'll link that down below. In terms of my first interview, I went online and I did an online application, and then they give me a telephone interview. That's how that happened. Best and worst experience, I haven't really had any terrible experiences. The only like bad experience, I mean, my best experience was a customer the other day, and it was amazing. Like, we've got this new cakeless concealer, and if you've not tried it, you need to. It is really, really good. And she was worried because she had like a little raspberry birthmark on her face, and it's something she'd always been conscious of, like a current routine. She was like, oh, it only takes me 10 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, but 10 minutes to do one little bit of your face, like, that's a lot of time. So I actually sat with her, I took her makeup off, and I applied our new cakeless concealer, and it literally went, and I cried. I cried for the lady, like, because I was like, do you know what, I know how much this means to you, and I know you're a strong woman and you're not going to show your emotions, but I genuinely know how much this means to you, so it means so much to me because I genuinely care about my customers. Probably my worst experience is just, it's genuinely nothing to do with the actual like company or anything, but it's just, we had a little bit of a bout of, like, you genuinely can't help if you're ill. We had a little bit of a bout where we had a few girls that weren't very well, and it was just like, when you have to ring customers to rearrange appointments when someone's not very well, that can be a not very nice experience, because you know yourself what it's like if you have to have an appointment rearranged, but it genuinely just happens and it needs to be done sometimes. And in terms of remaining positive in terms of all kinds of customers, you genuinely just have to go to work and sort of block it out. You can't respond to rudeness, you just don't. You've just got to, because you've got to take the good with the bad, because 9 times out of 10 there's 10 times more good than there is bad. It's sort of my advice with that, because that's just general in all retail. Rachel Pope says, do you get to test and keep lots of makeup, and also do you get on with everyone you work with? In terms of testing and keeping everything, we don't get absolutely everything, but we do get to keep a lot of makeup, yeah. We get like a lot of the bigger launches, and like I said, we get allocation and stuff like that, and so there is a lot of makeup involved, but that's sort of needed with it being a counter, because you are expected to wear Benefit makeup every day. And in terms of getting on with everyone I work with, well, that would be spilling the tea. Mary Lauren's actually asked quite a few questions, but I've answered quite a lot of them already. But the last one is, how long have you done makeup and had experience to become a Benefit makeup artist? Now, that's 2 different questions. So in terms of me doing makeup, I've been a qualified makeup artist for coming up, oh my goodness, will it be nearly 2 years now? Yeah, there or thereabouts. Nearly 2 years now. That's crazy. And I absolutely love it. I put myself through a course, I trained myself and paid for myself to do that. But in terms of becoming a Benefit makeup artist, Benefit and makeup artist don't go in the same sentence. So when you apply for a job at Benefit, they don't expect you to be a makeup artist. All they want you to do is to be able to be comfortable to apply makeup to people's faces. They don't expect you to have a qualification in makeup artistry. So if you were someone who's really into makeup and you're worrying because you've not gone and done that makeup artistry degree, you don't need a degree in makeup artistry to work for Benefit. You just need to be confident in applying makeup to people's faces. Tia Marie Adams says, what's the hardest thing about working at Benefit? And I think, like I've said, is sometimes it's picking up. I mean, like, the makeup training thing wasn't an issue, but I think like the brow training, it's just picking up a new skill. But I think that I don't think that's necessarily working for Benefit. I think that's just, if I'd have gone to any brand and they'd have put me on a course like that, I think I would have struggled to pick it up straight away. So there's nothing really that I've struggled with. Getting used to traffic stopping was one, I suppose, and that's where you go out and you actually traffic stop a customer. So you like might go over and go, do you want to be brow matte by Benefit today? And all you're doing is you just want to get them back to the Benefit counter just to try some products on them. You don't, you know, great if they buy, but they're not expected to buy. You don't have to buy. So if someone does approach you from Benefit, you know, go with them if you want to try some products out. Don't feel pressured into buying anything, because that's not what we do it for. We do it to show you the brand and introduce you to the brand. Kelly Green says, how much training do you need? And like it's sort of similar to the makeup artist question. You literally need no training to work for Benefit. You just need to be comfortable putting makeup on people's faces. Anna Marie Jones says, have you done any makeup on customers yet? How was your experience? I actually just sort of did it. Like, you do it because you're at work and it's your job and you have to. You just do it, and it's what you've got to think about, which I know sounds really, like, I don't want it to sound like big-headed, but that customers come to you for advice because they believe in you and they trust in your ability to apply makeup and to do makeup on them. They wouldn't have come to see you if they thought they were any better than you, if that makes sense. I mean, that's not to say that the customer's not as good as me. That just completely come out wrong. That's not what I meant. Basically what I mean is you've got to sort of put yourself aside for a second and think, do you know what, this customer's come to me because they want my help and they want my advice, and that's what you're sort of there to do. They're not expecting you to work miracles, they just want a little bit of help and a bit of guidance, really. Firefly says, do you get frustrated with any customers? That's this, yeah, in any job you do, there's frustrations with customers. Not necessarily, it's not always on a day-to-day basis, sometimes it's just the odd customer, but you've got to just sort of learn to deal with it in your own way, and you certainly don't take it out on the customer. Candy Monster says, there are many beauty companies to work for, but what made you choose Benefit? To be fair, Benefit chose me in a way because where I'm from in Middlesbrough, like, I am close to Newcastle. Newcastle's great for opportunity. They've got so many counters. Middlesbrough's tiny in terms of beauty counters. And at the time, there was Benefit or YSL that had a job and I applied for both. I didn't get accepted. I got through the first stage but didn't get to the interview stage with the YSL, where with Benefit I just got through the interview stages, and that's how I ended up working for them. But I am glad I did like the company anyway, but I just really wanted to get my foot in the door, and to be quite honest, I would have been happy working for any makeup counter because I'm just so passionate about makeup. Danielle Short just says, for work do you have to wear Benefit makeup? And the answer to that is yes. I think it's you have to wear a minimum of base colour, so your foundation, lip, cheek, brows, lashes. It's so like minimum makeup, and they do expect liner, even though you don't get liner in your starter kit. Yeah, Benefit, I'm watching you. So it's just basic base makeup really, because Benefit is a brand that you expect you to be able to throw your makeup on and go sort of a thing. Inez, I can't pronounce your surname, sorry darling. You've said to me what's my least favourite product from Benefit. And personally, I'm not a big fan of their real lip liner lipsticks, to be quite honest. I'm not the biggest fan of those. I just think they're a little bit difficult to work with, but some people absolutely love them because they like the lip liner and lipstick built in one. That's just personal preference, I suppose. Then I've got a question off Emily B, and she says, what happens if you don't wear Benefit makeup when you're working? Now, Benefit makeup is classed as part of your uniform. I've never come across it because I do always wear Benefit makeup, but I imagine it would you would get a warning for it, and then it could head towards disciplinary action, because you are given their makeup to wear for work and you are representing the brand while you're at work, so you are expected to wear it. So I would imagine that's what would happen. Jane Nichols says, my question is, what are the 3 Benefit items could you never live without? And Hoola bronzer, California blush, and I like Professional oil control primer. It's not one of the original Professionals, it's like a special Agent Zero Shine or something. It comes in like a silver tube. I love that because I've got oily skin. Tasha Atkinson says, what is your favourite product to use on clients while you're working? I always use Hoola bronzer because it's one of my favourites. I always try to use California because people look at it and go, what are you doing with that? And then you put it on and they think it's beautiful. But in terms of everything else, it's sort of dependent on the client's skin type and their needs. Linda McGlone says, will you be trained on waxing services and brows? Now it is actually a thing now, where there used to be brow girls and beauty advisors, where now they're just one thing and they're combining it all because the whole premise behind the brand is the makeup, so we're expected to do brows and makeup. I have actually just gone on my training course and I didn't pass straight away, but I will be trained eventually once I get used to the hang of doing it. And yes, I will be a trained brow girl, and everyone now, if you apply for a job, you are expected to learn brows and be able to do brows and makeup. Gravity 22 says, my Benefit question is, do you have sales target? Now the answer to that question is, I do have sales targets. We have a sales target to reach every single day. We have a certain number of customers we're supposed to sit down, certain percentage of different products we're supposed to sell, so it is target driven. And we also do don't necessarily have a bonus, but we do get commission. So I get 50p per item I sell, and that is on every item apart from minis. And I get paid minimum wage. I know you didn't ask that, but I just thought I'd let you know that I do get paid minimum wage, which for my age is £8.21. Anyway guys, looking through all of those other questions, they are very similar, so I'm just going to leave this video here. I hope I've answered any questions or queries that you did have regarding my job at Benefit. If you do still have any questions or queries, please do leave them down below. I would be more than happy to answer them in the comment section down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Mwah, thanks so much for watching.